Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Jen and today I'm going to be talking to you about my goals for 2024. 2023 was a year. I don't know. Outside of the fact that my booktube content planning stuff kind of fell to the wayside and my reading also kind of suffered. I read I think I'm at 86 books. And so I'm not mad about it. I just also did not accomplish any of the goals that I had set out to really, outside of the number of books goal. None of the other goals that I had set out for the year of 2023 actually came to fruition because things got a little nuts. But I have another ambitious list of things for 2024, and I feel like, I don't know if it's end of year energy, but I currently feel like 2024 is going to be the year of what? I'm not entirely sure, but we're just going to go with it. It's fine. So I have, I don't even know how many I put down. Hold on. I actually have 10 goals for 2024. I didn't think I had that many, but apparently, whatever. Anyway. And so we're going to go through them and talk about how I plan to accomplish it. In terms of the channel in 2024, I have, I think, 2 goals. Consulting. The master of all the things. Nothing's in here anymore. It's all down here. Anyway, the first one is to go to about 2 videos a week, and for them to be Wednesdays and Saturdays with me filming on Sunday of the prior week, I guess it'd be the same week. It's the start of the week. Because Sundays are usually a day that I don't have a ton going on in my life elsewhere. So I don't have work. And there's just family. There's usually no other obligations. So I feel like Sundays would be a good time for me to just set some time aside, film a couple of videos, edit them, and get them out to you every week. That is the goal. I really hope that I can accomplish that. I really want to accomplish that. We'll see. I can't make promises at the moment. I can only hope for the best. The second thing I would like to do, it's it's basically the end of the year, but before January 1st, is to get more involved with the community. Getting active in other people's reading sprints, hosting my own like I had planned on for the year, and just being part of the community, which I think was a part of what was hindering me before, was just that I wasn't getting myself out there enough, and it's not the easiest thing for me to do, but I recognize that as a thing I need to do, and also, who the fuck doesn't want friends? So that is my goal for 2024 in terms of booktube and the community. I really hope, I want to make friends, so if you want to be my friend, leave me a comment. But that is my hope. So for this channel and just for me, I just want to have fun. I want to be content in putting the work in, and happy with what I'm doing. One of the reasons that I am back and trying to make content again is because I just miss talking about books. I literally just read a book that I will talk about in a different video, that I was literally talking to myself and theorizing and all of this stuff that is booktube content by myself, because there was nowhere for me to put it. I have no one to talk to about this book that I was just hysterical over for 4 days straight. And that's one of the great things about booktube, is that you can talk to people, and then you can talk in the comments, and then you can do all of these things. So I am aware that that is entirely on me. And that's what I want these goals for my channel to be, is stuff that I can control. I can control my time, and the videos that I create every week, I can control how much I don't participate with the community, and the subscriber counts don't matter to me right now. What I want is community, and to talk to you about the books that I'm reading. So those are the non-actual book goals for the year. So the next one is the number of books I'm going to read. I'm going to set it again to 75. Again, I hit 102 in 2022. I'm going to be 86 for 23. So I think having 75 as a base goal and then adjusting or just exceeding from there is perfectly fine. I do have a goal of getting my TBR down to a certain number that I'll talk about in a second, but I don't know, like 75 is a good starting place for me. And with that comes reading 30,000 pages. One of the things that I've noticed as I was shifting into contemporary romance, and it was taking a little bit longer to hit certain page milestones because the books were shorter. There's nothing wrong with that, but I like to keep, I think the 30,000 and the 75, like it all works out. I think I'm at 33 for the year. So I think this is entirely doable and exceedable, and then we can worry about increasing it in 2025 if it becomes too easily achievable. The next one is to finish 12 series. I have a video coming shortly that will focus on 24 series that I'm focusing on in 2024. But having the goal of actually finish all 24 scares me a little bit. That's a lot. This way I'm like, I will finish 12 of them for sure. And then if for some reason my reading changes or my mood changes, or for some reason all I have left is I don't know what's on the list at the moment, but like, I don't know, the end of the first Law trilogy, and I'm just like not feeling fantasy like that at all. Like, it gives me room to keeping the goal at 12, but the focus at 24 gives me room to like move things around throughout the year, which I desperately need because I do not want to be restricted. If I feel like I have to read something, I will immediately not read it. Getting the physical TBR down to 175 is the next goal. It's a lot. There's a huge difference between where I'm currently at, and I don't actually have the most accurate number because I've got a box of stuff that needs to get cataloged in my spreadsheet. But we're probably close to 100 off of that, and there's not a high likelihood that I will read 100 books off my TBR that I currently own at this very moment in time. The goal is to get down to 175. There are probably some things that will get unhauled. There are probably some things, hopefully there are just more things that get read, but the goal by the end of 2024 is that the physical TBR is at least 175, if not lower. Another goal is that 50% of 2024 reads are from books that I already own prior to the start of 2024. So everything currently right now that's in my house is where we're going to start. I will catalog those books before January. And 50% of the books that I read in 2024 must be in my possession at this very moment. I'm not going to be playing TBR Takedown. I did love that, and it gets kind of complicated. But the real goal is there's still going to be a part of this that is to read a bunch before I buy. And so there's not necessarily like bonus points for finishing the series or whatever, because that gets really complicated because like it doesn't count if I don't own the book, and like there's a whole thing about it. I'm not going to be pre-ordering anything for 2024. I usually love the B&N pre-order sale. I kind of go a little hard. But the only exceptions on that are just things I know I will probably read in the year of 2024. This is not me saying, oh, hey, this author posted such and such on whatever, this sounds cool, I'm going to pre-order it. This is the next book from author who I've read before, or from the series that I'm reading, or basically that I have some history with, is releasing a book in 2024. I will pre-order it because I'm likely to buy it. I think I have like a shelf on Goodreads for just anticipated release. I think there's like 6 books on there. And I'm not going to add stuff just to add them. I love buying books. I love finding new authors. I love all of that. But for me, I don't know that I'll ever have a TBR 0, but because I love having options. I love being able to be like, I'm in the mood for X, Y, and Z, and I probably have it on my shelf. But I have so much space. This shelf here, where is it? This one used to be a 5-shelfer, and that fell down because it was too heavy. That needs to get replaced. But after that, I'm basically out of room. There are books over here. There are books over there. There are books in other rooms. And I have to be mindful of my space versus just taking things in to take them in. If they serve a purpose, great. If not, they can't come in until I'm ready for them. And ready means I'm going to read it immediately and when I return home. One of the goals that I set out for in 2023 was to read 25% of my reading from BIPOC authors. did not accomplish that. And I realized that also because of the number of books that I read can fluctuate, like 25%, it's hard to quantify that in a way that says you're going to read this number of books, or this is how many you have to read, because if you read the number and then you read more, then your percentage goes down. At least I think that's how that works. So basically the goal for 2024 is to increase the percentage of BIPOC authors that I am reading versus the previous year. So in 2022, 12% of my reading was from BIPOC authors. In 2023, 17.4% were from BIPOC authors. So there are gains being made, but it's not enough. It's never enough. So my goal is just to increase that to a number that's higher than 17.4. So that series, TBR, and that are probably my 3 primary goals in all of my reading for basically forever. Because we all know my TBR is never going to be 0. I'm never going to catch up on series. And you should always just read more from BIPOC authors. So goals for those are those goals for 2024. This one is mostly just because I don't know, it's something that bugs me at the moment, and that's to diversify the subgenres from which I'm reading. Basically what this means is read more adult fantasy, fantasy romance, urban fantasy, whatever, in 2024. In 2023, at least 50% of my reading was contemporary romance. There's nothing wrong with that. And I would probably bet that a majority of the books behind me are contemporary romance. Actually, this entire shelf here is, and part of this. So I would actually gather, and I have a thing, I should probably pull up an actual statistic, is that I own more fantasy romance I own more contemporary romance than anything else. However, I would like to see the percentage for the year be less than 50%. I own several fantasy romances. I own several fantasies. I own several, even on my Kindle, there are so many books that are not contemporary. And so I find when I read fantasy romance, I love it so much. And so it's not necessarily that I want to read less contemporary romance, as just I want to read more of other things. And so this is going to force me to do that. At least I hope so. This is all over the place. So hopefully we're all doing here. The other thing is to read, again, back to my Kindle, is to read more from my apps. So I have a Kindle account, I have a Nook account, I have an Apple iBooks account. I'm still paying for KU, even though I barely use it. I usually use it for like if I'm reading indie and they're on KU and I need to bring my book with me and would rather take my iPad than my book. And like yesterday or the day before was like stuff your Kindle day. So like I grabbed a bunch of ebooks. So like there's so much stuff on here that I forget about. And so I should probably put like an actual number against that. I'm not going to, but I probably should. Just to kind of help force my hand a little bit. I do have, we'll talk about this in the next one. I do have some things planned, but like I have all of these books behind me and I see them when I walk in this room and I know that they're there. I also have the equivalent probably on my iPad and don't remember that they're there. So I do want to read it, especially if I'm continuing to pay for KU, I need to use it. And my last goal isn't really a goal. It's more just the thing that I'm doing in 2024. And those are my bingo cards. I do not have graphics made, so I can't put them anywhere. But basically I have, and they're not really goals. Like if I don't achieve these, it's fine. But this is another way to help me achieve my bigger goals by just smaller fun things. The first one is a challenge bingo. It's a 4x4. So there are 16 like, they're not prompts, but they kind of are. There are 16 things I would like to do. So we have things like read 1 science fiction book, read 10 books by a BIPOC author, again, contributing to that other goal. Science fiction contributes to other goals, also gets books off my TBR. Read 25 non-contemporary romances. That is specifically for romance, but non-contemporary. What else is on here? Finish my 2022 anticipated releases that I have not read yet. I also have 2023 anticipated releases that I haven't read yet. So basically, it's just a board to help me guide my reading throughout the year and just try to accomplish some things that will help accomplish my other goals. So there's nothing that I'm like actually holding myself against or holding myself to, but I really want to. The second one is just a trope bingo. I mostly just put these in my bullet journal and was like, this could be fun. These are just tropes. It's in a hockey romance. Why choose? They're all of my favorites, so like none of this should be hard. Enemies to lovers, retellings, Grumpy Sunshine, vampires, like it's just those type of things that will just be a fun thing to check off as I read books. So those, I feel like I've been talking for a long time. Those are my 2024 goals. I'm really excited to get started on them. I'm trying not to start them early, but in terms, I've like stopped reading for the year, and it's very strange because I think I've been reading every single day for the last, I don't even know how long. I don't remember the last month was, but like I've just been constantly reading, and I have not read for 2 days, and it's been strange. But please comment down below and let me know what any of your goals are for 2024. Do you set them, and what do you do to make sure that you achieve them? If you made it this far, I adore you. Please leave an emoji, just any emoji, whatever you're feeling for the new year. There we go. An emoji that makes you feel, that reflects how you feel about the year of 2024. And please give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe if you have not already. I would greatly appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.